come down. Group of cars coming in. This has all got trouble written all over it. This is G3 cars.
Drop downhill there, head towards the Aqua Minerale. Imola, of course. There's another one off through the gravel. As wide as possible as they drop downhill, but if that's on the inside line. Yes,
Oh, he did.
through he goes.
Good evening everyone and welcome to the final race of Season 9. I am Rage F1 and I am joined by Safso. As always, we're back! We're good to go for the final race. How you doing, Saf?
Bonjour, how you do?
I'm very good, man. I'm very good. This is GT3 Tier 1. AOR's absolutely spankingly fast, boys. About to go, I think, live for quite a few laps. We're looking at an hour's riding around Silverstone. So let's jump straight into what is already kicking off qualifying right now. So let's just open up this bad boy. There we go. And we should be going live for an hour's worth, or hour and 15 minutes, because they're just about to start to set some laps. We're on board with Mr. Trevor Wenham currently. Did very well last time out. He raced in Zolder, coming, I think, 3rd place. Doing very well this season, just overall, Mr. Wenham. So it will be very interesting to see what happens with him today. Just catching up on some of the details that we missed last week, obviously, because me and Saf weren't here. I don't think you were here, were you, Saf?
Nope.
So BMW Nils came away with the win. Zolder, George Boothby came away with 2nd place, and Trevor Wenham, as I just said, got 3rd. Jardier got 4th place, up 7 places, and then Szymanski came 5th, up 12 places. Now, that leaves the standings in a bit of a precarious place, because we've got George Boothby with 512 points. In his McLaren, with Jardier just behind with 482 points, and BMW Nils on 467. So still possible for all of these guys to win. Technically still possible for Dara McCormack to win, but he'd have to have George Boothby, Jardier and BMW Nils pretty much not finish. But anyway, mathematically still possible. Malinowski, unfortunately, not mathematically possible for him with 376 points. He definitely won't be able to win here. But it is looking like it's going to be a fight between George Boothby, Jardier and BMW Nils. So yeah, it's going to be a spicy one. Trevor Wenham currently 6th in the championship. He'll be fighting to stay into the top 5. We're on board with him now as they kind of negotiate themselves around here. What kind of time are we looking for around here? Probably 57s, maybe 56s. I've got no idea how fast these guys go these days, but roughly around that kind of time I think would be quite competitive.
In practice, they were setting about 156s, so I'd expect either a low 56 or a high 55.
Okay.
Will be around pole.
That's pretty damn fast. That is pretty damn fast. Okay, well, we will see. We're still with Trevor Wenham as he rounds the last corner, dives down towards the timing line for the first time here. Took 3 minutes, or no, 4 minutes to get that done. Such as the way this track is. Cromie across the line, 157. Okay, so low 57, then beaten by BMW Nils with a 56.9. Here come the more competitive times from everyone else. Right, what can George Boothby does? He comes across the line with a 157.1, so not getting into the 56s yet. Only person who can claim that is BMW Nils so far. Alright then, that's a good start. Where is Jardier currently? He's going through, let's see. Can't quite see where he is on track. Ah, final corner. That'd be why. The Woodcote section as you blast down towards the old start straight, which is now the new one. Right, okay, he does go 5th place with a 157.4. A little bit of work to do then for the Porsche. Not really a Porsche track though, this one, I would say. More of a McLaren track, but we'll see what he can do. Got any predictions for today, sir? What do you reckon?
Nils, Boothby, Wenham.
Nils, Boothby, Wenham. Okay. Well, if that happens, if your prediction comes true, then George Boothby will take the crown for a second time. Pretty sure George Boothby was our champion last year. It's just, I'm pretty sure he was, wasn't he? Quickly go over the Season 8 bits and pieces. Standings for Season 8. Yeah, George Boothby, 625 points. Tinker van der Velde was the only person who could bring it to him. 525 points. Luke Whitehead, who's fallen massively out, not actually taking part anymore, I don't think, is he? He's not with us today. We've got a very small grid of only 20 drivers today. So we'll see what these guys can do. We've got a tight top 3 for the championship.
In terms of what all those drivers need, if Boothby finishes top 4, he gets the championship no matter where everyone else finishes. Jardier needs a top 7. No, sorry, not top 7. Top 14 to be in the hunt for the championship. Obviously, then Boothby would most likely need to retire, and Nils needs a top 7. So if Nils finishes outside top 7, he's out. If Jardier finishes out top 14, he's out. And if Boothby gets top 4, he wins.
Oh wow, so it's that cut and dry for George Boothby. Just got to get into the top 4 and he's got the win.
Yeah, and he has got in the top 4 finish 4 out of the 7 races so far.
So it's looking very keen for George Boothby to retain his crown. As we're still on board with Jardier then as he comes just towards the timing lines here for another run. Much better? No. Okay, well, interesting. 157.2. 157.2. More time to be found here, I think, but is he able to unlock it? Definitely not. BMW Nils still leading at the moment, 156.7. Arthur Camara in second place with a 156.8. Trevor Wenham in third. Darren King up into fourth with a little bit of a bounce back to form for Darren King by the looks of things. Fourth place for him in a BMW. Lots of BMWs at the top end here today. Who have we got up on their time at the moment? BMW Nils currently up on his time. I think he's just going through the first sector. Let's jump on board with him, let's see. Yeah, he's coming down. I think they're hanging straight. No, he's not, sorry. He's going down Wellington, is it?
I believe so.
Into Brooklands, Nuffield. There we go, then into Woodcote. This BMW looks so stable. It's the easiest car here today. Top 4, there's 3 BMWs. Oh, he moves out the way for someone. Okay, or not. That was odd. Across the line, I guess that's why. I forget, because it's not the normal start-finish straight round here. Does he improve? I think it might have been a very small improvement. 156.6 if it was for BMW Nils. No one else has got into the 56s. Arthur Camara, 157 dead. Interestingly enough. Right, I don't think anyone inside that top 10 is improving just yet. Darren King is currently out on the time. Let's see what he can do. Whether he's improving, I'm not entirely sure. I think he's just starting. Nope, he's done. He did have a lap in. It wasn't good enough. People struggling to improve today. What's the track temps like? So, actual track temperature is 31 degrees. We've got an ambient temperature of 25 degrees. 6 minutes to go. So we say with those 6 minutes, you've got 1 out lap and a push lap then to see what you can do. Maybe 2. On board with Mr. Wenham. Nicely done through Stowe. Such confidence through Abbey. He's not up on his time at the moment, though, is Wenham? He's currently riding around just on the limit. Lots of boys struggling to improve here today, which is odd. Normally they keep going faster and faster and faster, but we're just not seeing that today. There's no wind. There's high temperatures. You would have thought people would be improving left, right and centre, but they're just not. George Boothby in 7th place. He's making work harder for him. He actually just jumps up into 4th there. Okay, Trevor Wenham then, he's up at 10th, coming across the line. Can he get into the 6s? No, he can't. 157 dead, but we have got some more people in the 6s now. We've got Arthur Camera, I think his best... Oh no, we are well into the 6s. 156.8. Gregor Schill jumps into 3rd place with a 156.9. And then George Boothby also with a 156.9. He needs to improve a 10th, and he can jump Gregor Schill, make his job easier for the race. 4 minutes to go, Saf.
Yes.
Indeed. It's the final today. I don't know where it's going to go. Looking like this, I think BMW Nils could come away with the win here today if the track conditions stay like this. Which place should Boothby finish to make Nils champion? Now that is a good question. Saf, maths. So if BMW Nils wins the race, where would Boothby have to finish for BMW Nils to come away with the championship?
That is a good point. Let me see. So Nils would go up to 567. He would need Boothby to be 8th or lower.
Are you really 8th or lower?
Yeah, because Nils would go up to 567, which is... actually, it might be low, it might be 9th or lower. Let me just double check. So yeah, he would be 44 points behind. So if Boothby were to finish 10th and Nils won, they would be equal on points. No, I'm talking hogwash. No. Hang on. I'm getting on money, hang on.
It's alright.
54.
Trevor
Yes,
Wenham.
he would need to finish 8th or below. 8th or below.
8th or below. So if he finishes 8th, would they be tied?
No.
He would win.
If Boothby finishes 8th, Nils wins. Nils wins the title, but then there's also the bottleneck of Jardier.
Yes.
So where do we need him to finish?
Where he goes.
I think for Jardier it's much... I think if Jardier is off the podium, he would then win. So let me just see. Jardier, 422. Yeah, I think Jardier would need to be 2nd to win the title if Nils won and Boothby 8th or lower. And Boothby has only finished lower than 8th one time this season.
So in other words, Boothby needs an absolute shocker if anyone else is going to win this championship, really.
Pretty much. And Jardier has also only finished in the top 2 once this season. And Nils has had 2 wins this season.
So at the moment, Jardier is slightly higher. So if Boothby finishes in 6th and Jardier wins, I think he could take the championship, couldn't he?
Let me check that. I believe Boothby would need to be 5th or lower with Jardier winning for him to take the title.
There we go. So if
But
George...
at the moment, Jardier down in 10th at the moment.
That Porsche is not feeling happy around this track today, I don't think. Someone who is feeling very happy, Arthur Camera, currently in provisional pole position with a 156.6, a really good time for him. He's actually improving. Someone who is a little bit off the board at the moment because he's down in 6th place in the championship and not a competitor for this championship at the moment. But doing very well. Malinowski currently 3rd place. He's up a 10th. and he's 2/10 down technically off camera's time. So we could see a change of pole position here. So the time is in a Porsche, obviously, but you've got to be Mr. Tortellini to unlock it. So that's probably why. Coming across the line for Malinowski then. Enough for pole? Question mark. No, it is not. So he must have lost some time there at the end. Not enough. You have to keep going. He's going to have another push lap to get this one done. Gregor Schill, though, 4/10 up. He could be a threat here for the podium, for the pole position. Across the line. Is he going to take it? No! Front row. Second place for Gregor Schill, but still very good. The BS competition guys doing an incredible job today. Top 3, all BS competition drivers, which is, yeah, very, very good. But we are done for qualifying. This is all they rode. Where is George Boothby? He's in 7th place. Now, this could be very important for the championship. We've got BMW Nils currently a 10th up on his time, and all he has to do is improve by a 10th or so, and he can start on pole position. And he's got a good old chunk of lap left. He's going down to Hamilton at the moment towards Abbey, so he's got a lot of time to make up some time, in essence. So we could see a change here. He's on the bubble. He's not improving as much as we can see, or at least it's less than a 10th if he is improving. George Boothby, though, down in 7th place. He won't be going any further ahead because he is in the pit and done. Jardier could jump him here.
Jardier is currently just under 2/10 up in his time, which would put him up in the likes of 5th.
Yeah, possibility to jump George Boothby here.
He's got Bentley ahead of him, though. That's Kevin Niles down in 23rd. So hopefully he doesn't get too much in the way. He's down in his time. Is he letting him through? Yes, he is.
Here comes BMW Nils for pole. Is he got enough in the tank? Oh no, just off, but still he'll start in the front row. It's going to give him a great start here. His teammate actually might help him out, to be honest. He's got a good chunk of team all around him for this, and that's exactly what he needs. He's got BS competition cars left, right and centre.
Jardier's just invalidated his last time.
That sucks. Trevor Wenham across the line doesn't improve. He'll be starting 5th place. So Boothby in 7th. Interesting for the championship. Nearest rival, Jardier, just one behind him. So that's going to be an almighty battle. So we have to see what happens there. BS competition, though, doing the business today. Arthur Camara on pole. Joining him on the front row, BMW Nils. And a shout for the championship. A distant shout, anyway, for BMW Nils. But he's got all the help he needs around him because he's got Gregor Schill in 3rd place there. And 2nd row of the grid. Joining him on the 2nd row, Malinowski. Tortellini managed to sneak up there in a Porsche. Really, really good job from him. And then we got 3rd row, Trevor Wenham, Darren King. That's going to be a fight that I want to see. But yeah, you got Darren King ahead of you, George Boothby and Jardier all around them. 4th row on the grid. 2 boys definitely destined for the championship hopes there. 4th row. Yeah, real tough job with Trevor Wenham and Darren King ahead. So we'll look at that battle with anticipation. Hugo Merlers, Dara McCormack. Unfortunately, looks like Dara's qualified himself out of this title race. I don't think he's going to be able to do it anyway. Yet to have all of the top 3 in the championship, pretty much DNF today for him to have a chance. He'll be, 5th row of the grid with Hugo. 6th row is Samir Foch and Hamanda Hakrizi. Good to see Hamanda back. Then we've got 7th row, Valentine Barrier, Adam DeBille. Then we've got 8th row of the grid, Steve Favre and Dominic Goltz. 9th row will be Kieran Prendergast and I think that's Fabian, is it? Brielle? I could never always get his name wrong. Vanko Dimitrov and Jura Petruchenko will be 10th row of the grid. Jean-Marcel Dietrich and Marcus Lawrence will be 11th row, and Kevin Niles at the back there today. Right, let's go forward into the next race session, shall we? Okay, I already asked you at the beginning, Saf, your top 3. I think you gave us BMW Nils. I can't remember the rest. I
think I said Wenham and Boothby.
Okay, yeah. Well, there's a good shout. Wenham's been doing very well at the moment. He's got a mighty amount of cars to get past, though. Got the 2 BS boys to get past if he wants to get 2nd place. And then Boothby's going to have to do the business past Darren King. I think BMW Nils can take the win here. I think you're right there. Malinowski, I think, maybe have it in him to get to 2nd place. And I think Boothby will have the will to get possibly up to Malinowski and maybe challenge. I think Boothby's got the championship, really, unless disaster strikes. And then obviously it's open between Jardier and BMW Nils. But hey, we'll see. Let's just say Boothby has a shocker, right? Doesn't finish the race, throws the championship. BMW Nils wins. Where would Jardier have to be if he wants to keep his title hopes alive? That is the next big question. If Boothby's taken out of this, and we've got a straight fight between BMW Nils and Jardier, they are only 20 points apart. So he's got to finish maybe 4th or 5th, and he can get it, I would have thought. So, still possibilities available for Jardier. It's a long way. We've got an hour to go, so who knows at this stage.
So if Boothby's taken out of the race, what does he need? So
if Boothby's taken out of the race, BMW Nils gets the win. Where would Jardier have to finish to take the championships? Just 2nd place he would need. 2nd.
Any lower would lose on it.
Well, there you go. Well,
but if Nils and Boothby are taken out, he just needs a top 14.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, there you go. I mean, it could happen. I doubt it, but it could happen. You never know.
Tensions will be running high.
Yeah. Crashes can happen. We've seen crashes this season. Look what happened in Paul Ricard. We had a huge crash down the back straight. We had another big crash, I think, was it in Spa? I seem to remember there was a big crash around there somewhere. We have been to Spa, haven't we? But anyway, it can happen. We'll see. We'll definitely see what goes on. And it's about to kick off. Only 30 seconds to go, and we're going to see the start of this final run for the championship. We've got 3 people who can win it. Technically 4, but mathematically, I don't think it's going to work for Dara. But we'll see. BMW Nils, Jardier, or George Boothby. Who's going to take the crown? I think George has got it. 2-time for George, hopefully. 2 times a charm. Right, I think we should stay on board with some of these top boys, see what's going on for them. Someone like Malinowski, maybe. See what it's like at the front. You've got the line of BS competition cars there just blocking you to get up towards the top. We could see what George Boothby does. Obviously, it's interesting to see where he can go, because obviously he's got title hopes to keep alive. Do you think Camera will let Nils get past him at the beginning?
If he gets a good enough start, yes.
I think it will be a straight open door into turn 1. I just don't see why he would feel the need to hold up his teammate when he's fighting for the championship. He knows his teammate needs to get the win to keep hopes alive here, so I think it has to be open door time for BS competition. But we'll see. You never know. All depends if they're let racing, if they're let free to race, really. Where's Boothby? See him there in the McLaren. It's got Darren King ahead in the Predator-themed BMW. That's going to be such a hard task. That George Boothby got to get past Darren King in a very spicy BMW. Definitely been one of the favourite cars of the season, hasn't it? The BMW. It's been just an all-rounder good car.
Yeah. A very painful thing that can happen championship-wise. If Nils wins and Boothby finishes where he is currently 7th, there'd be 1 point between them with Boothby winning.
Oh, gee. That's like back in old school 90s F1 where you could win by like half a point. Yeah, heartbreak. Well, I guess it doesn't even have to be 90s. 2008, Lewis lost by 1 point to Kimi Räikkönen.
Won by 1 point in 2008. 07 is when he lost by 1 point.
Thank you. He did actually win by 1 point. You're right. Massa, right?
Yeah.
He got glocked.
Yeah.
2007.
Beat the Brazilian at Brazil.
He did. Well, Brazilian won the race, but not the championship. Bless him. Yeah. Very emotional podium that with Massa beating his chest. But yeah, if Lewis didn't run off in China, right, in the gravel,
then he would have won in his debut season.
He would have won the debut season. Has that ever happened before? Championship in your debut season?
No, he would have been the first one.
Don't think it's ever happened. And he would be an 8-time right now, right?
Well, he'd be an 8-time if his engine didn't fail in Malaysia as well.
He would. He'd be an 8-time if Michael Massey didn't forget the rulebook as well.
He'd be an 8-time if the car wasn't so unreliable in 2012.
Oh dear. Oh, I don't know. Button had the run on him in 2012 though, right? Button's doing well back then. Didn't Button...
But Button was very good. Button was very, very good. People underrate him finally.
Oh, yeah. Over the whole period of time that they raced together, Button amassed more points than Lewis.
Yeah.
Although, I think Lewis, like, beat him more times. Something,
Yeah,
I
think
know.
a lot of the points where Button outscored him is when Hamilton had mechanical things.
It does make me laugh. All the Button fans come out when that fact gets released. It's like, oh, if you remember.
But Button was very, very, very good.
Yeah, I like Button, Mr. Consistent, reliable.
And he was lovely off the track as well.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, he never got into big fights, no big conspiracies. Like, he was just lovely.
Okay, well, off the cameras, reeling them down towards the line now. You can see BMW Nils wants to get on with this straight away. Camera slowing down for the start here. BMW Nils, I think he's just going to have an open door. I think this is already pre-decided, pre-planned. We're about to go racing then for 1 hour. The final race of Season 9. It's any of these three guys' championship at the moment. Obviously, BMW Nils and Johnny have got a bit of a hard time of it. George Boothby just has to finish inside the top 5, and he's just guaranteed the championship here today. Camera is going to lead them away. BMW Nils is going to take the lead, I would have thought, right at the very beginning, but we'll see. It starts off very clean. BMW Nils sweeping round the outside. Don't think he's got enough under him to get it done straight away.
Camera's not giving it up.
He's not. You are correct here, Saf. I thought it would be a straight swap, but it isn't. They're going to fight the way all the way through to the end here. What's happening at the back? This is important. Need to make sure Jardier and George Boothby get through okay. It looks like they are. No damage going on. Oh, we got, I think that's Adam DeBille off at Maggots. Or was it Beckett? I think it was Beckett. Rejoins at Chapel. No damage done. I think he's all good. We've only got 23 runners here today. So no offs there as they come down towards Stowe. Good stuff. Hugo Merles a little bit wide there and crazy. We do have a battle going on, though, with Darren King and George Boothby. George Boothby around the outside. Darren King having to relinquish that position. Good start from George Boothby, managing to scalp Darren King there, going down into Vale and Club. Nicely done there through the Hamilton. He's still on the back of him, though, Saf.
Yep, I think George doesn't need to fight too hard now. Where he is currently, he's done it already. He's won the championship if things stay as they are. But obviously, he wants to be as high up as he can. Have to wait and see how much Darren King fights that, but he's now got Jardier behind him, because he'll obviously want to get up there since he's second in the championship, technically. More of a chance than Nils, but not car-wise at the moment.
No.
Porsche definitely seems to be underperforming.
Yeah, track bop I think is coming into it here. Jardier's going to struggle. He's got Darren King ahead, you can see in the Predator BMW, looking to hold on to position. George Boothby managed to hold on to that. Lovely overtake, and that's what you need. That's a championship move right there, getting round the outside of Darren King. We know how big he gets his arms out, but he managed to sneak through in one of the slowest corners in the track. Really good stuff there. The bravery on the brakes to get a move round the outside, going into that Vale Club section, is ridiculous. Really well done. But Darren King's holding on, and it hasn't changed at the top. Still camera from BMW Nils, from Gregor Schill. They are very close, though, at the front. So are these boys at the back here. We go through Maggots into Beckett's. Jardier struggling there with understeer. Either that or Darren King's car just looks that little bit more composed through the squigglies. Definitely looked like Jardier got the line sort of wrong. Come down towards Stowe. Look how close Darren King is onto the back, George Boothby. Can you imagine here if Darren King just yeets off the main challenger for the championship? The memes that would flood in would be absolutely heroic. I don't think he will, but can you just imagine the scenes if it happens? If Darren King just puts a foot wrong and just yeets George Boothby off. I just can't believe it. I don't think it would happen, but can you imagine if it did?
Well, I think there'd be more anger and frustration than memes, but it's certainly quite a spectacle, that's for sure.
Darren King's got a little bit of a reputation for the old bump and grind, but still, he's done very well this season. All of the drivers, to be honest, have come good this season. We've had lots of different winners from all across the kind of ranges of drivers we've got here. You know, Trevor Wenham been doing very well. Gregor Schill joining us for this season, doing very well. Hugo Merler has joined us in the commentary box after a race because he came away with a podium. You know, obviously we met Jardier for the first time in the comms box because he came away with a win. Camera getting fastest lap. So it's been a season really of mixed results. But that name that stayed strong all the way through, George Boothby. We thought Dara and McCormack might have a good shout at the beginning of the season, but faded away towards the latter end with a few issues, a couple of mechanicals, if you can call them that. Put an end to his title hopes. But he would have been right there, I think, if it wasn't for that Narnia at Donington. On board with Darren King as he's still on the back of George Boothby. Boothby hasn't been able to break the toe. Interestingly enough, Jardier is still there too, separated only by 0.3 of a second. I think George Boothby's struggling here. Might be struggling to get those tyres in the window. Here comes Jardier on the outside of Darren King. Darren King braking hard, but not making a mistake into Village. This is going to cost Jardier a lot of time here. He needs to get it done. Needs to get it done quickly. Looks like he had the measure of Darren King on the brakes through that section. We come down the Wellington. You never know. He might get a little bit more pace on him through Brooklands and Luffield. So much better on the brakes is the Porsche. The BMW's got such good drive and it's very composed. But that stab of brakes in the middle of Luffield is not going to help him. Jardier then pushes it off down Woodcote. BMW Nils retakes the fastest lap of the race. It's going to be nail-biting stuff to the end here, Saf.
Yep. Nils will be probably looking to get the undercut on his teammate ahead of him. He's 2 tenths behind at the moment, but it's been hovering around that for a long time. So, you know, probably want to get another cut done on him. She'll be looking for a move anywhere.
I'm very surprised that there wasn't a pre-race team chat between the BS boys. Yeah, you got a chance of one of your drivers coming away with the championship. There would have maybe been a conversation to say if someone got the pole position ahead of him, maybe just let it go through a little bit easier. But who knows? You know, these guys running round for races. Arthur's never come away with a race win here. He's got second place, I think, was his highest position. I think that was with BMW Nils taking the win, I think around Hungaroring, sorry. So yeah, I mean, everything's available for them here. Race wins there. BMW Nils has stayed with them though. Only 0.3 separates each of the BS boys. Gregor Schill doing a great job holding on. It's the highest we've seen him running on just typical pace. There aren't, I don't think, fastest lap points. I'm pretty sure there aren't. There's any coordinators in the chat, just maybe give us a heads up on that, but I'm pretty sure there aren't any fastest lap points. I could be wrong, but I don't think there are. Right. I think the race between Jardier and Darren King is slightly starting to eke its way out, as is the race between Darren King and George Boothby. Let's jump up towards what's happening at the top end then. These three BS boys going toe-to-toe. BMW Nils still within 0.3 of his teammate who's currently leading this race and has led from the get-go. Brilliant qualifying session from Arthur Camera. BMW Nils looking for a mistake here to keep his championship hopes alive. George Boothby though is in 6th place and he's doing everything he needs really to keep his championship hopes alive. If he finishes where he finishes, and BMW Nils finishes where he finishes, or even wins the race, it's still George Boothby's championship, as is the gap in the points. What does he do here, do you think, Saf? Do you think wait for that pit stop? Wait for the opportunity? Stay within that... sorry?
Yeah, he seems a bit stuck at the moment, so... Yeah, maybe take a risk on the pit stops, hit a bit earlier, and then try and go up a couple of positions and defend towards the end when the tyres inevitably get a bit old. But they've got their own methods, so they'll probably just try and be as quick as they can be and hope for the best.
Yeah. It's quite a short pit stop, this. You know, the pit road's not very long, so undercut could be quite powerful. We'll see what they do. I think it would be definitely to BMW Nils' credit if he can get the undercut done, but it's such a wide and open track, it's very hard to keep that person behind if you've got a tyre advantage, so you don't want to undercut it by much, you know, just see if you can get the jump on them on the pits. Obviously you've got to time it perfectly, maybe go a lap or so early, see if you can get that run, and you can hold it to the end. It is an easier track to overtake, this one. There are plenty of places where you can give it a go, as we saw out of Vale. You can also down whereabouts from, you could give it a go down the Wellington to Brooklands. You could give it a shout around there. It's tough, but could try. Or the village section before you get to the Wellington. Always give it a go around there. There's plenty of positions you can go for an overtake, but just whether you can hold that for the whole race. That gap's opening up again between Jardier and Darren King. 5 tenths is the gap. Darren King's getting very close to Boothby though. 3 tenths is the gap back there. Keep an eagle eye on what's going on with Boothby. Hasn't been able to switch on the car as I thought he might be able to. It is a good McLaren track, this one, Silverstone. You would have thought the McLaren should be firing all cylinders, but it's just not doing the business today. Malinowski trying to get... Sorry, carry on.
I think we've already got our first penalty of the session. It's for Steve Forvlet. It's a 5-second penalty for causing a collision with car 840. That's Adam Dubiel. Lap 1, turn 5.
Okay.
No license points.
That would be when he got tipped through Beckett's, I think. Adam Dubiel will have to go wide off into the gravel and rejoined at Chapel. Malinowski looking for a way past Trevor Wenham here. Hunting for the way past into Brooklands. He actually gets the move done. Very, very good there. Quite compliant Trevor Wenham. He's going to be under threat here from the guys behind. Got to be careful. Doesn't want to hold up George Boothby. Boothby, though, is going to smell the blood in the water. He's going to want to make a move and get past. Don't think he'll get it done into cops, but hey-ho. Trevor Wenham's coming back on Malinowski, though. As we've seen this season, that GT3 Porsche just really isn't very good on the straights. Clips quite a lot. Gregor Schill. Oh, we've got a change. We do have a change. BMW Nils has got himself into the lead. We missed that. That must have happened just as we were watching Malinowski. But yeah, camera has managed to lose position. Gregor Schill right on the back of him as well. So I wonder where that happened, Saf. Let's see if we can just double check where that was. I think we've missed the chance for a replay now. But that must have been into Copsish area. Maybe going wide.
Gonna give it a quick check.
Definitely coming out of Maggots and Beckett's. BMW Nils, as they left Chapel, was in the lead.
It was on the main straight.
Oh, was it? Was it a clean pass, do you think? Was it an open door kind of pass?
It's hard to... It just looks like camera gets a poor exit and then leaves the door open.
Okay, didn't fight it then, I guess.
No, definitely didn't fight it, but it wasn't like lifting off the throttle for him to get through or anything.
Interesting. Okay, well there you go. I would have thought that's kind of almost natural position resumed. BMW Nils in the lead, camera following, Gregor Schill just behind. Almost was hot on the heels, but never actually made the move that we thought was going to happen. Trevor Wenham falling back a position has actually bunched up this pack quite nicely. Jardier right on the back of Darren King. Darren King's dropped off George Boothby slightly, but Boothby getting very close to Wenham now. If he gets past Wenham, I think Boothby, he's done enough, hasn't he?
Yes.
Definitely done enough. We're on board at the moment with Darren King as we watch the fight ahead between Boothby and Wenham. Both got the same machinery. Malinowski now has been freed. He's already gapped Wenham by a fair amount. Cameron's dropped a second from BMW Nils. And he's coming under threat from Schill here, I think. We saw them going into Stowe together. Yeah, we got a 5-second penalty for P21. That was an incident. I think it was turn 5, lap 1. I think he sent Adam Dubiel off into the gravel at Beckett's on the first lap. Me and Saf went into that earlier on, but yeah, Adam I think suffered quite badly from that. But he's back on and he's just behind him now. Oh, Darren King looking for a move down the Hamilton. Incredibly tough place to get a move done there. George Boothby.
Jardier's off.
Oh my goodness, okay. Wonder what happened there. Both of them went wide there. Let's see if we can go back a few seconds to see what we can see if we can work out where that happened. So this is coming through Vale and Club. George Boothby coming under threat then from Darren King. Darren King moving to the inside. Maybe this battle ahead caught them out here. Boothby runs wide. Yeah, just a kick of oversteer. Jardier losing the back end. And unfortunately, I think he's losing his chance at the championship. He's going to be down, I think, 9th, 10th place after all of that. 9th place for Jardier then. Lost the position to Dara McCormack. And I think he'll struggle to get that back.
Yeah.
Yeah, disaster there. I think that's championship hopes over for Jardier. Never mind. So we do have a fight here with George Boothby and Darren King behind. Yeah, just kick of oversteer. It happens. It happens through Abbey. Tricky corner, especially in that Porsche. Just come off that accelerator too quickly. Get a little kick of lift off, and that's it. You're round. Caught it though. That's the main thing. I found when driving that Porsche, you almost had to always keep half throttle on. It's one of those weird cars. You always had to keep a little bit of throttle going through those rear tyres. Otherwise, if you come off all the way and you put some pressure onto the rear end, it just goes. It's a tricky car. Right, Gregor Schill still getting very close to Arthur Camera. 3/10 is the gap. 3/10 is the gap between Boothby and King, what we're watching right now. But let's just see how close Schill is down the road as I go down the Wellington Straight towards Brooklands. It's not as close as it seems on the timing screen. It's actually just dipped out of 4/10 now. So it's like Gregor's got a little bit more work to do if he wants to get this move done. Dara McCormack's coming good though. 8th place. Since he got past Jardier, looking quite aggressive. George Boothby's championship must have flashed before his eyes going through Abbey sideways with Darren King behind him a couple of laps ago, eh? Managed to hold on. So we have a separate broadcast client, Nerd, that we can race round and look like it's a TV broadcast. We do have a separate replay button that you can use. So that's how it works. You can do it on the controls in normal ACC. I think it's F3 and then you just filter through them. I think there's also another way you can get onto the broadcast style screen. But yeah, download, I think it's ACC Broadcasting Example. I think you can get it through the dedicated client when you download it, download the game. So you just have to make sure you get the dedicated server version downloaded at the same time. Can't remember how you do it. I think you go into like services under the games download, and you download the dedicated client and do it that way if you want to. Very technical, but easy to do. YouTube is your friend. Have a little look on there. I'm sure there'll be some detailed analysis of how to get it working. Right, enough of that. Any races going on, Saf? Samir Foch looks like he's getting very close with Hugo Merlers. I like Samir's paint scheme finally coming through. Have you seen it today?
Nope.
He's got a Pepe Clown, the Honkler.
Oh, God.
Yeah. Pepe Clown, the Honkler. See if we can get a little bit closer to that car. Clown Fiesta Esports, the Honkler there, being shown. That's great. See what the helicam says. Oh, I think it's a little bit too far away. Do love the Honkler. Boothby will be champion if he keeps 6th place. That is correct, yes. It is mighty correct.
Jardier in the pits.
Jardier's in the pits, okay. Well, there you go. Differing strategies coming out here. So Jardier pulling it in after that spin. Unfortunately, he's got to try something to get back, right?
Oh, yeah, definitely, but I think it's a bit too little too late now. It's pretty much championship over for him, so just doing as best as he can now.
Yep. It's Ferrari versus Ferrari here. Samir's trying to make his way past Hugo Merlers. He's had a good season, actually, Hugo. Whereabouts is he in the championship? Let's have a little look. The 12th place at the moment in the championship overall. Samir, 22nd. So that's how good Merlers has had a time of it this season. Hugo Merlers, I think he had a 3rd place in the Spa. 3rd place for Hugo Merlers. The highest we've ever seen him, actually. Got a 4th place, I think, maybe? No, he didn't. 3rd place is the highest we've seen him. 10th place last time out. Manzolda. The 2nd highest finish of the season. Samir, on the other hand, the highest he's had this season is 13th place. So currently he's in a season's best position in 10th. As it goes for a move then. Didn't come off there, unfortunately. Oh, okay, Merler's in the pit. Merler's in the pit. We've got another pitter at the front back.
Boothby in.
Boothby in. Okay, well, there you go. Boothby decided to pull the car in for some fresh tyres. Lovely jubbly. No one at the front decided to come in, though, right? They're going to have to... They're going to have to react, though, to this. Boothby's the highest runner to get the pits done straight away. Right, so where we need to be looking to see if we get an undercut here is Jardier. See if he's managed to get the undercut on George Boothby. Obviously, he was about 10 seconds down the road, so whether the early pit was worth that amount of time, I'm not too sure. Where does Jardier have to be top 3 overall? Or in the top 3? I don't know, to be honest with you. I think he needs to be at least inside the top 10 if he wants to get a top 3 finish in the championship. To be fair, he'll probably get one anyway, because he's right up there. So we'll do the maths for you at the end. At the moment, he's not quite doing enough. George Boothby's been released. You can see him there, just coming out of the pits. He'll be going to maggots now. So Jardier's undercut wasn't enough to get past Boothby.
But definitely close them up.
Oh, we all close them up, yeah, through maggots, Beckett's, definitely. Struggling on the tyre heat up. Just as we saw on Sunday, Saf. Interesting, wasn't it?
Yep.
New tyre sizes in F1 having issues on the heat up when they come out the pits.
Cool.
That's going to definitely raise a few eyebrows on strategy, I think, for some people. The undercut with 1 lap spare, I don't think it's going to be as powerful anymore. Anyway, we'll see. Managed to close up quite well there, Jardier. I think he might actually take Darren King if they don't come in. Oh, King's in now. This is going to be close. This is definitely going to be close between Darren King and Jardier. Whether he can get that position back after that little accident he had going through this very corner we're watching right now. Anyone else at the top in? I think Samir Foch has decided to come in. What's going on between these other guys? Let's see. BMW Nils coming out of Chapel, I think, going down towards Stowe. No sign of pits just yet. Yeah, I think he can get into the top 10 to get 3rd overall. I think that would probably be where he'll need to be. I think 3rd place is going to be too hard. Who's 3rd in the championship? BMW Nils is right with him. Dara McCormack's close. I think for a top 3, he just needs to get a good haul of points. Don't know what that points haul is, but he's got to get a fair chunk. I'm sure a top 5 between 5th and 10th should be enough to hold on to 3rd place. Let's put it that way. But we'll see. We'll do some maths at the very end of the race for you boys so we know roughly where these guys have finished. But this is the interesting part then. Where has Darren King come out? Did he manage to get past some of these guys? Let's see. Darren King, where is he? Going through Beckett's and Chapel now. Did he get past? He did! He got past. Darren King came in later and managed to get past George Boothby. He overcut George Boothby.
Must have been a poor outlap from George or a great inlap from Darren.
Either or maybe George had to do a second or so on the damage, because that might explain to why Jardier was able to bridge that gap that he'd lost. Maybe there's a little bit of a fixie-fixie in the pits. Interesting. Darren King could still throw a spanner in the works for the championship here. I think George would be okay finishing where he finishes. If he finishes 6th or 7th, I think he'll be alright. But we'll see. Great in-lap or out-lap from Darren King, though. Really, really good work from him. Jardier's got to stay with them, though, if he wants to keep his top 3 hopes alive. I think that's probably what he's succumbed to doing now. We've got some more pitters. Jean Marcel's come in. Briat's come in as well. But the top 3 and 4, 5 and 6 still no pits. Interesting. Okay, well, stay with these guys for now. Darren King holding on to George Boothby quite nicely here. Great job of holding him up, to be honest. Right, so which one of you paid Jardier to hold up the championship contenders? I mean, Darren King. Yes. We'll see. Oh, we got some stop-go penalties. That's Jean Marcel and Briattle. Unfortunately, that would be speeding in the pit lane to give them that. I don't know. I don't know if Dara will jump anyone here. I don't think the undercut is powerful, but I could be wrong. We'll see. If these guys get held up in a bit of a battle, then Dara could technically run away, but I think, yeah, we'll have to see. Right, Gregor Schill then, first one to pull the trigger at the top, and he's done it in front of his teammates there. Trevor Wenham came in with him. Okay, well, this could be very interesting then. Whether Gregor might be able to jump the front two here and cause a right upset, but we'll see. Dara, crucially, goes for one more lap, I think. He's not decided to come in just yet. He's a couple of seconds back from these boys, but pretty sure he's decided to stay out. He has. Right, where's the likes of Darren King? I think that Schill's going to have the measure of this pack quite nicely. Yeah, he's going to run away with this. Whereas he's exiting now. We'll stay with him. A little bit of a run. Miles away, Saf.
Miles.
There, you can just see him right in the very faint. I don't think anyone on the stream will be able to see that, but it was literally just as he entered into Maggots, you saw George Boothby and Darren King coming into view. But yeah, nicely done then. Gregor Schill, great pit for him. He needs to really get the hammer down now and see if he can get past his teammates of Camera and BMW Nils. Could see an upset here, especially if they don't come in this lap. BMW Nils and Camera could be under threat here from their teammate. Let's see what they decide to do. Coming through the final corner. This looks like an in-lap. I think BMW Nils is going to come in. No, he goes for one more. Okay, right, we've got a real fight on now. Camera decides to go for one more too. Gregor Schill could be pulling an absolute blinder at this stage. We'll stay with his times just to see if he improves. Dara is deciding to come in now. He doesn't want any more of it, but we'll see if Darren King and George Boothby were able to close up that gap, or whether if Dara was able to jump them in the pits. We'll have to see. Darren King then, whereabouts is he? He, I think, is coming through. Whereabouts is he? Okay, so it looks like he's going through the village section. I think he's going to be able to jump Dara here. Yeah, well there you go, Murph, there's your answer. I don't think Dara's going to have done enough. A little bit of free air and some time, but I don't think it was enough to hold on. He might even lose the position to Jardier here as well. Still in the pits is Dara. Malinowski decided to come in too. Malinowski's been released. Dara's still stationary. And these boys are about to go past him. Yeah, Dara's missed out, unfortunately. Luca, right, so unfortunately it's a long-standing joke. Right, Dara has been released and he has been jumped by Jardier. He's just there in the back of the picture. You can just see him going through Beckett's. That goes back to when we had I think in one season 3 different sets of Nils. So we used to differentiate the Nils by saying what car they had. So it's just it's a long-going joke, isn't it, Sam?
Yes.
If we have a Nils, we call him by whatever car he's running in. But if you want, we can call him Naujok if you want, but I'm not going to. We're just going to call him BMW Nils. Right, BMW Nils then decides to come in. He decides to come in. Interestingly, Camera doesn't. He goes for one more. Gregor Schill then is the eyes for this. Whether he's going to have enough. He's coming through the loop in the village and Aintree section. Going down towards Wellington. Has Gregor Schill done enough on his outlaps to get past BMW Nils and take what I think would be net lead of this race? Exactly, we 3 Nils of ACC, one in a Porsche, an Aston and an M3. Like it, that's a good rhyme. There were three Nils that we had running at one point, so it's just easy to differentiate. I'm sure he doesn't mind. Anyway, Gregor Schill coming across the line. BMW Nils has been released. He's coming out of the pits now, but I think he's going to be slow. He might be under attack here. Gregor Schill is going to be right on the back of him at the end of Maggots and Beckett's because he's got the warm tyre. He's got the tyre underneath him. Is it enough, Saf? Not sure. You can see him gaining. Oh, Gregor, that was your one chance. He tried. I don't think it was enough.
Nope.
As is the mighty pace from BMW Nils this season. Regains net lead, I would say. Undercut, not as powerful as we've seen this season around Silverstone. Well, there you go. It's definitely not the bad way to go, but it's not as aggressive as we've seen in other races. So there you go. interestingly enough, boys, if you're ever taking part in your own ACC race around Silverstone, sorry, the undercut is not as good as it sounds. Indeed. Camera, only person out there not to pit, has just come in. So he is currently leading the race, and he's come into the pits. I think he might be under threat from Gregor Schill, though, because Gregor's going to be pulled along at this stage by his teammate, BMW Nils, who's coming through, I think, Aintree to go down the Wellington now. What's going on behind then? George Boothby still stuck behind Darren King, who's lapping incredibly fast at this stage. Got the fastest lap of the race. Ahead of him is Malinowski. You can just see him come through the picture at the back there. So we've got 2 races going on right now. It's this pit stop phase race that we can see. I think we should go on board with BMW Nils. I think we'll see camera probably pop out, possibly in front or right next to him. But he's still yellow in the pits there, Saf. Now he's green.
He's easily going to be fast, easily by miles. Gregor's in second.
Gregor's got him too. Right, well, what's camera going to be under threat from the other boys behind? Malinowski could be a worry. But no. Nice and tame. No dramas here, boys.
Which means at the moment, Nils needs Boothby to drop 2 positions into the title.
So 2 positions, or you broke up a little bit there. 2 positions, he needs to go backwards for him to get the title. 2
positions for Nils to win the title.
Okay, so Boothby needs to drop back to 8th place for him to keep the title hopes alive. Well, there we go. Not sure if that's going to happen, but we'll see. You never know. There could be some last-minute shenanigans. What's going on then with Darren King? Darren King's actually gapped Boothby at this stage. Jardier's just behind. What's the gap from Jardier? No, you see, Boothby's in a nice little pocket here. He's got a second ahead and 2 seconds behind. He's running his race here today, Saf. Not getting involved.
Oof.
I mean, he's doing what he needs to do to get the championship. He'll be the 2-time.
Yep.
The 2-time. I don't know what he's going to do with his second pair of SIMSOKs, as you saw by the title sponsor. As
put them on top of the old ones.
Well, exactly. You would, wouldn't you? You put one on top of the other. Why not? SIMSOKs, fantastic. If you want to get any more information, you can find some information down in the description for all of our sponsors. SIMSOK being one of them. You can see it on the screen there. They offer a fantastic product. Do you know what it is, Saf? Have you tried them?
What is it?
Oh, it's lovely. They are lovely, custom-made socks. They've got like little rubber gripping on the back, so when you're using your pedals, it's nice and smooth. And you don't go sliding off. Have you ever slid off your pedal with under aggressive braking? I certainly have. So there you go. Get some SIMSOKs. Won't ever happen again. They're about, I would say, about £20 or so, 20 euros, whatever you call it. Get the large pair. They work. Link in description if you want some of those. Or if you fancy, maybe a little bit of tuition. You want to get as fast as these boys, hit up Driver 61. They will give you some tuition and tell you how to be as fast as George Boothby and come away with your own championship. I've got some good reduced rates, I think, involved for anyone who clicks the link and goes to have a little look to see if you want to get the pace that you need to compete in the top tier. All the information down below. And if you fancy having a go with AOR, Season 10, I'm sure, will be starting in a couple of months' time. Make sure you join the Discord for any more information. Again, information below in the description if you fancy some of that. Who knows? Could be fighting George Boothby for the title next year. I paid the bills there, Saf. Kept the lights on, paid the bills.
Yes.
Got to pay those bills.
Yes.
Not much going on at the moment, is there? It's a bit of to and froing after this pit stop. It's evened everyone out, unfortunately. Don't have much of a race going on. We have Dara McCormack on the back of Jardier. Unfortunately, Jardier is only going one way, and that's backwards this race. Not the best race he could have hoped for. Oh, here we go. Trevor Wenham. Is it Trevor Wenham? It's not. It's Dara McCormack into Brooklands. Nicely done there. Jardier all at sea today. So Sharkbait says, I need some SIMSOKs. I have a dog that just sheds all over my feet sometimes. So there you go. So if you've got dog shed all over your pedals, SIMSOKs will keep your grip all on your pedals, and instead off of the pesky dog shed. Yeah, I mean, they're great. They're like trainer socks, right? So they come up just above your ankle, and on your brake pedal, they've got, like, on the heel, you've got your rubber pad, or some nice little rubber strips, so it keeps your heel planted. And then you've also got some little toe rubbers as well, so it keeps your toes planted on the tip of the pedals. And on your accelerator, there isn't a rubber bit on the bottom of your heel, because obviously you're pivoting that more so than you are your brake, or roughly anyway. To keep that brake foot planted, you don't want that moving anywhere, whereas your throttle, you want a lot of movement. But anyway, good stuff. They're very good. You saw in the advert, if you did at the beginning of the stream, they are a good product. I can vouch for them. I've got a couple of sets, and I use them every time I go racing. No joke, they are probably one of the best things you can do for sim racing, apart from a rig. Or gloves. Have you got gloves?
Yes.
Yeah, I'd like a nice set of gloves, I'm not going to lie. Yeah, could do with a nice little set of Alpine Stars or whatever. I was thinking about getting some sim hounds. They're quite nice, I've heard.
I've got some.
Have you got sim hounds? Nice. I just installed my GT DD Pro today with load cell brake. I need boots, not socks. Lol. I mean, I've got load cell brake. Saf, you've got a load cell as well, haven't you? Got a load cell? Yeah. Do you use shoes?
Nope.
Nope. See, I would say man up, Luca. I got myself a rubber pack. I think you can get them off eBay, where you can soften up that load cell. Highly advise it. Much more modular. Saf, I think you should do it too. I'll link you actually, Saf, after. Works an absolute treat. Really does. Whippy Whip said, I got some similar sports socks from Amazon with gripped on the bottom. They're great for sim racing. Well, same kind of thing. But they're obviously all simmy, and they've got SIMSOK on them, and they're racy, right? And they make you go faster, I promise. I promise. Especially if your parent...
You're going to have to face a lot of lawsuits if that's not true.
I was going to say, especially if you take up the offer that we got below on the Driver 61 tuition, then it's definitely faster. Good stuff. Right, we haven't got any more racing going on, I don't think. I think we've got Hamanda Hakwizi a little bit further down, is doing some business on, I think, Valentine Barrier. Hamanda Hakwizi taking to the escape road there, going down towards, or exiting Vale. Hamanda Hakwizi, very racy today. A little bit of rubbing there with Valentine Barrier. Hakwizi getting past Barrier nicely there. Barrier's been going backwards, unfortunately. Whereabouts is Barrier? Yeah, he's lost a good couple of positions. 72 car with a lovely Ukrainian paint scheme we've got this year. Lucas said, seriously, I tried it earlier with just socks. It was tricky. I mean, it depends on how hard you've got your load cell set up, mate, you know. Depends on how much fidelity you want, right? I have mine set up so it's quite modular. I can still feel quite a lot. Some people like it rock solid, like you're punching a goose.
Wow.
Exactly. There's a real tussle going on back for 11th place right now, Sam. They've swapped around again. Valentine Barrier got the position back, or tried to. Hamanda Hakwizi takes it back. Brooklyn seems to be the place of all the action today. Have you ever punched a goose before, Sam?
No.
Can't say I have. Even a Christmas
And
goose.
advise anyone who has to seek therapy, please.
Well, I mean, if it's a Christmas goose.
Wait, no. Anyway, back to the race.
I mean, you've got to give the turkey a little 1-2, really, and you've got
No.
soften it up. Lucas says, I'm a sim racing noob, only just moved from a Logitech G29. I think you'd think I'd know more, considering right for overtake. I mean, it's a good jump. G27 to a DD Pro. It's nice. Arjun says he prefers his bathroom slippers for the old plush and grip. Okay, well there you go. Whatever works for you. I'm just giving you alternatives here. I like a set of SIMSOKs. What can I say? Valentine Barrier is under attack now from Hugo Merlers behind in the Ferrari. Might see some more action here. Valentine Barrier going backwards in the latter end of this race. BMW Nils running away currently. Boothby in championship position there. Needs to drop back to 8th place if anyone wants to threaten him. Don't think anyone is at this stage. Trevor Wenham 4/10 back from Jardier in 9th place. Could be a race going on there. We'll stay where we are. Kieran Prendergast looks like he's getting very close on Adam de Beel. There's definitely racing going on throughout the pack, Saf. We're just missing it all.
Ouch.
Indeed. Well, Kieran must have had a go on Adam somewhere back in the lap, but didn't really turn out. Maybe had to get out of it, and that's opened the gap up to outside of half a second. So might come back at him. We'll come back to this battle, I think, in a minute, because we've got, I think, Trevor Wenham and Jardier going toe-to-toe. Jardier obviously losing that position to Dara McCormack. He's going to be falling back even further now if Trevor Wenham gets past. Just think that McLaren is a slightly better package today. Obviously, Malinowski's just doing Malinowski things. Oh no! Okay, so Steve Favreau says internet disconnect. That's why we've lost him. He dropped out from 11th place about 10 laps ago now. So yeah, that's a shame, Steve. I mean, fantastic having you here for season 9. I hope you sign up for season 10. It's good to see you there fighting it out in the mid pack with all the tough boys. Let's have a little look over Steve's season. Whereabouts was he? There we go. Currently 38th position in the championship. Best finish was a 26th place, I think. Got 2 26s on the trot. Got a 29th and a 32nd. So a checkered history there, Steve, not going to lie. But still, thank you very much for taking part in this season. I hope to see you back fighting it out in the middle pack. Always good and always a pleasure. He was in a very good position, actually. I think he was in 10th or 11th place. Highest he's been all season, so he's probably going to be very annoyed by that disconnect. I guess that's what comes towards the end when you don't have many people taking part.
Yeah.
Oh, Ark, mate. Tell me that you bought some posh eggs. I haven't bought the posh eggs just yet. I will, though. I do still think about it when I do my weekly shop. Shall I buy some posh eggs this week? I have not bought posh eggs. In the classifications, what does CNS and NS stand for? No idea, chap. I'm sorry, I can't answer that. I don't know. I didn't build that form, so I don't know what it means. I'm sorry. I'm going to say maybe that they disconnected. Something to do with disconnecting or leaving the server of some kind, I would say. But I'm not too sure what that is. Right, well, I don't think we've got any battles going on right straight away. We've got Trevor Wenham obviously trying to get past Jardier in the top 10. That's kind of the only thing we're watching right now. 12 minutes to go. This championship race has kind of just meandered on through Silverstone. George Boothby still in championship place, as we're going to call 6th place at the moment. If he falls back to 8th, then that would hand the championship to BMW Nils, who's doing everything he can to win, but unfortunately I don't think he's done enough. Ark saying, well, then you've failed. I will get posh eggs, I promise. I have not got them yet. Chuck saying, not to worry. Sorry, buddy. I don't know that info. Maybe it tells me. I don't think it does. CNS. Connection, no score, maybe? Something like that. Can't tell you. DNS is did not start. CNS might be could not start. I'm just using brains here. I mean, that's not a huge jump, right? Maybe that was a could not start. Informed them that they couldn't start the race. Yes, Mochi comes in with the could not start. DNS means, that was my guess, because DNS means did not start. Yeah, so I think could not start means possibly they couldn't make the race, right? They had Ronies. They're out watching a movie, you know? That kind of thing. Camera is less than a second from Gregor Schill at this stage. Trevor Wenham looking for a move on Jardier through Stowe. Does he get it done? I think he might have done there. No, Jardier is still there on the outside of Stowe. He's going to go take it all the way down to the Vale and Club Complex. I don't think it's all over just yet. Trevor Wenham got the inside. Jardier running around the outside. No way through there for Trevor Wenham, but a good old attempt there. That's where we saw George Boothby do the job on Darren King earlier on at the beginning of this race. Jardier, though, a little bit more wiser at this stage of the race. Gets keeps hold of 8th place. Yes, NS for no-show. CNS could not start. NS for no-show makes sense. I mean, it's quite complicated for just did not start the race. Don't know why there just isn't DNS for all of the people that couldn't turn up, no matter how intricate their reason may have been. Trevor Wenham still looking aggressive. 7/10 is the gap from Camera to Schill. Schill holding on through that pit stop phase to 2nd place. That'll be a season best finish if he holds on to that. I mean, performance of the season, BS competition are definitely up there with the team's performance. They've had some front row lockouts twice in a row now. I think Hungaroring, they did the business. They're going to do it again here today. So you can't take it away from them. They've been performing at the very top end and very, very consistently.
Camera getting closer to Schill.
He is, yeah. 4/10 is the gap. We've got a very, very hot and heavy battle going on with Trevor Wenham at the moment. So we're going to stick with that for a second, but do give us a shout if that gap gets any closer, and we'll jump straight up to Arthur. Outside of Stowe again. Trevor Wenham looking for the move. Crucially, though, he's on the inside for the next complex here. So that will be move somewhat done. Little tap on the rear end from Jardier there. I'm still here for good measure, but doesn't get the move done. Trevor Wenham having to go again, unfortunately. It's getting really close. Look, wiggling behind Jardier saying, look, come on. Martin saying, did not buy posh eggs. DNBPE. Okay, I will buy the posh eggs and feed back. What's Arthur doing? He's doing fast things on the back of Gregor Schill, looking for a way past his teammate.
Oh. Schill's rear got a bit squiggly going through there.
Those intense Sapso noises there. 7 to go. And change. It's about 4 laps or so. Coming to the thick end of this race now. BMW Nils currently leading. Schill in 2nd, but under attack from Camera. Quite aggressive attack, actually. Those tyres maybe just starting to see the end of their lifespan for Gregor Schill. Trevor Wenham incredibly close behind the back of Jardier now. Jardier actually off the track through turn 1. He's going to rejoin for maggots. Trevor Wenham must be going, what do I have to do to get past this Porsche of many colours? Matter of time, I think, between these boys. Right, round 3. Can he get it done out of Stowe? Maybe try the inside here. Wenham forced to the outside again. Jardier still there, hard on the brakes for Trevor Wenham. Jardier still on the inside. Doesn't get up the outside of him this time. Crucially, Jardier holds on to the position. Trevor Wenham looking, no bananas there. Just a big rear end of Porsche. Thanks, Martin. I hope we've kept you. Trevor Wenham's got a drive through. Okay, that must have been for track limits, Asaph.
Must have been, yeah.
That's quite unheard of round here in an hour, but there you go. He's obviously pushing hard. Thanks, Martin. Martin says it's been a thrill listening to the commentary with us this season. Good job, guys. There you go. Good job, Saf. We kept them interested. That's the main thing. It's all this talk about punching geese. Trevor Wenham drive through. He'll be punching a few geese after this race. He was on for a great finish. But Jardier's caused him a few issues. You have to get that done sooner rather than later, otherwise it's really going to affect him. So you have to get that done. Although 120 seconds, I think, the penalty. Wenham DT, yeah. Is he going to pull it in now? That's the main thing. Is he going to get it done? Done and dusted. He is. Oh, it's ruined what was a fantastic race. Never mind. We'll go to the next best thing. Arthur Camera getting very close to his teammate Gregor Schill. On board with Arthur for the BS Competition Blue. Boothby, though, doing everything he needs to do. However, look where Dara McCormack is. 4/10 back. If Boothby falls to 7th place, has he still got this championship? Is it by the 1 point scenario?
Yes, he will win by 1 point if he finishes 7th.
Dara McCormack's right there. 4/10 back. Can you imagine if there's a touch between them? Jardier comes through, 8 seconds behind. Oh my goodness. We'll keep eyes on that gap. 4/10 at the moment. It's pretty much the gap that we're watching right now. This could have huge consequences for the championship. This is the one we're talking about. Just hop back to it now. Oh, we joined at a wrong time. Dara McCormack going very deep. I think that's in Village. Okay, the gap's going to open up slightly now then. But still. Dara looking for a dive there. Wow, some chat information saying Dara is helping Boothby. They're in the same voice chat. Doesn't look like he's helping him right now. I thought we were going to see a spanner for the championship then, Saf.
Nope.
You never know. Dara leaving the track. Okay, well, we'll keep an eye on that gap. Like you say, chat says that they are talking to each other, maybe in cahoots. We might not see the drama that we thought we might see, but never mind. Drama is still unfolding up ahead then. Inter-team rivalries ensue. Gregor Schill looking for his best season's finish today. 2nd place. I think his best so far is a 4th, and that was the Hungaroring with a brilliant pit stop strategy that put him almost in the lead. Well, it did for briefly, half a lap. BMW Nils quickly snapped that back away from him. He's doing a fantastic job today. It's raw pace for Gregor Schill. Kept himself right up there, so very happy. Team BS Competition must be incredibly happy with these three. They've done the business this season. Unfortunately, it's just a little too late. If there was a competition for teams, these guys definitely would be winning. Dara might get thirsty. You never know. You never know. Half a second separates. We'll keep an eye on that gap if it comes down any further.
We see if there was a competition with teams. There is a team standings.
Is there?
And going into this race, Yas Heat 100 points ahead of BS Competition.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, Yas Heat is Jardier's team, isn't it?
I believe so.
Yeah.
Yeah, then it's Clown Fiesta, AJA Sim Racing Team, GigaChad Racing Team, Team VMS, Volante Racing, PCDC, SMP, and then 2 teams for Simware.
Yeah, Yas Heat coming away with more points, aren't they? Because it's Jardier and Malinowski.
Yeah.
Is that right? I'm not sure that is.
It's what it says on the team standings.
Is there a separate team standings then? Oh, there is, yeah.
Yeah, individual and team.
You're right, no, I was looking at the wrong thing. Yeah, Yasheat running away with it. BS Competition, 758, whereas Yasheat have got 858. Clown Fiesta Esports, 654. Clown Fiesta, that's strange, isn't it? Because that's... Clown Fiesta, let's have a look. That is... it's Boothby.
Yeah.
That's Boothby and Samir. Obviously, Samir's not been doing the business, but Boothby certainly has.
Cameron just nearly run into the back of his shell.
He did. We're still on board with this fight.
Also, I just realised, I believe the next lap is going to be the last one.
Yeah, I think so. Yes, it will be. BMW Nils, whereabouts is he right now? Yeah, he's just going down the Wellington, so yeah.
If he slows down enough, he can make this the last lap.
He technically could, yeah. He could. Yeah, I mean... I thought he was slowing down then. AOR used to be the big boys on the block for F1. But no, ACC has risen out of the ashes like a phoenix. Yeah, final lap. And they've been doing very well. They've been doing very well in ACC. ACC's slowly been growing. Definitely more popular than the F1 leagues with AOR right now. So, yeah. It's AOR been doing a business in GT3 ACC stuff. It's been great to see the rise. It's been good to be part of it. Right, camera is all over the back of Shield still. Where's that fight going on with Dara McCormack, George Boothby? It's still there. 3/10 is the gap between them. Let's see what Dara's doing. He's right on the back of him. I'm not sure he will throw it up the inside. Like, you never know. He might get thirsty, like Chat was saying. I don't think he will. It'll cause all sorts of problems if there's contact. Can you imagine the scenes? BMW Nils has done everything he can this race to keep it ahead. Everything he possibly can. But I think it's like we're saying, too little too late. Middle part of the season didn't come well for BMW Nils. Had a couple of disappointing finishes, but he's always been up there, you know, always nipping at the heels. And that's put him in a position where he has been able to fight for the championship. But unfortunately, George Boothby's just done that little bit better this season. And he's been able to put himself in the best possible position. And it's come off. He's only done it by 2 positions on track, though, George Boothby. I say done it, he's not crossed the line yet. So it's still anyone's at the moment. But I think it is very much final nail in the coffin for BMW Nils and the championship for him. But he's done great. He'll take second out of this, I think. Jardier should take third. But we'll see as he comes across the line. He'll be happy with that. He's done everything he can to keep his hopes alive. BMW Nils. Unfortunately, it's not enough for the championship. He comes across the line in first place. Great finish for him. Gregor Schill is going to hold on for a brilliant second place under the huge pressure from his teammate. Arthur Camera comes across the line in third. Malinowski then, he's going to come across the line in fourth place. Great stuff from him. Great work as well, getting a Porsche that far up. George Boothby, though, he's going to come across the line and take the championship for a second time in the row. George Boothby, the 2-time AOR champion. Take a bow, Mr. Boothby. He's done the business today. Dara McCormack didn't get it done in the end, but definitely tries. Jardier gave it the best. We had a good time with Jardier this season, much improved, but unfortunately not enough to take the championship fight to George Boothby. Samir comes across the line in 9th. Hamanda Hakwizi in 10th. That's got to be a good finish for him. Valentin Barrier in 11th. Steve, unfortunately disconnected. 12th will be Hugo Merlers. Then we've got 13th Vanko Dimitrov, 14th Jura Petrochenko. We've got Marcus Lawrence for PCDC. Oh, he's not actually. He's Race Anywhere SimSport. I used to thought he was PCDC. Anyway, Marcus Lawrence in 15th place. I hope he does join us again. Kieran Prendergast in 16th place, still with us. Trevor Wenham, 17th place after that disaster for him. Dominic Goltz in 18th place and Adam DeBille in 19th. And then, unfortunately, the non-finishers of Kevin Niles and Jean Marcel Dietrich, I don't think they've finished today. Oh, no, they are still here.
They're still on the track.
They are still here. You're right. Sorry. They're still coming through. Yeah. They're in Luffield-ish area, right? I think. Yeah. Where's Jean Marcel? Yeah, just behind him. I mean, Jean Marcel's done a great job in that car, because that's not the fastest Porsche, is it? And he's right up there in the points. Whereabouts is Dietrich? Let's see if we can find out. He's 10th place in the championship. He'll probably gain a couple of places there, because Amir Hassini hasn't raced today. So yeah, good job from him. Well, there you go. Fantastic win for BMW Nils, but we really can't take that away from George Boothby. Championship goes to him. Maybe we'll have a chat with all three, plus the one extra of George Boothby after this race. But yeah, well, there you go. That is Season 9, all finished. Will you join us again for Season 10? I hope you will. We aren't finished just yet, though. Oh, we're going to get the typical drifts from Jura. We'll stay with, Jean Marcel. As he drifts his way around Silverstone. We'll stay with him, because it is good fun. He's clutch kicking like an absolute demon there. Right, let's see if we can have a little chat with the top lads. Oh, he's with us. He is with us. We didn't even realise. Well, we'll get this done before we go over to the top three race winners. George Boothby, you're the two-time, buddy.
Let's go.
Let's go indeed. Did you think it was going to come off there? An inspired move to get past Darren King. Brave, I must say. But inspired going down, I think it was in Vale-ish club area, on the outside and managed to hang it round. You didn't need to. You were still in championship contention in the position you were, but you felt the need to push it anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I had it in my head that I had to finish in P6. Apparently it was P7, someone told me. But... in my head, it was P6. So
P7 would have secured you the championship.
Okay, so I am an idiot. Okay. So I like went all out for that move so I could get P6. And then, I mean, that race, I didn't want to push. I didn't want to do anything stupid because the McLaren's pretty quick there. It's definitely had a bit of a hit recently, so it's not like as quick as the BMWs, but it's still super fast. But problem is, there's bumps on that track, and it's very easy to die. You might have seen like quite a few McLarens have like a little off here or there, or lose pace a lot because they like slide on the bumps. I think Trevor had pretty bad second stint because of that. So,
got himself a drive-through as well somehow.
So it was pretty difficult in the race to like just stay consistent. But once I got into that position, I just thought there's no point pushing. There's no point trying to do anything stupid. Just stay P6. I knew Dara wasn't going to do anything silly behind, and apparently, even if he did, a P7 would have worked. So
we think the P7 would have got you by 1 point, but don't push it. You know, I think you did the right thing. Get yourself into P6. Get what you need to get done, and I think you're lucky that some drivers had a bit of a rough race there, you know. Jardier could have pushed you if he didn't lose it.
Definitely.
He lost the rear end whilst you were battling with Darren King at one point, and never was able to get back to you guys, even with an undercut, still wasn't able to push it. So I think you had a bit of luck there at the end of the race, but obviously you drove a brilliant season, and it's more than just one race. So, you know, I hope you join us again next time, buddy. You know, see if you can take it on the 3-time champ, but 2-time champ sitting here today, George Boothby. Take a bow, buddy. Well done.
Thank you. I think that this sort of describes my whole season. I mean, at the start of the season with the new update, I was a little bit off the pace, trying to figure out the setup. Thankfully, I figured it out for the last few races, but yeah, I was struggling a lot. But I just kept picking up the pieces where other people were having issues, having crashes, having bad races. I was always just sort of there. So I never won a race, but because I've just consistently been in like the sort of top 5-ish, top 10-ish.
That's what it's all about.
Added up.
That's what it's all about, you know. I think Dara could have been a threat.
Championship.
Dara could have been a threat.
Definitely.
But he had that issue at Donny, and that, I think, put the nail in that coffin, and then he lost the wheel, unfortunately, to really push it all the way through. But he was there at the beginning, and it was quite a worry. Lots of people were, Dara's looking fancy.
Oh yeah, he's been very spicy this season. I think like if we look at the results, if you didn't have that DC, it would have been literally neck and neck into this race.
Yeah.
Like, it would have been almost tied. So that would have been cool. It's just a shame these tech issues happen. I mean, I had it the same last season. I had my wheel disconnect.
Crying in
It's just-
Misano.
Yeah, it's just one of those things you got to live with. I guess I got the luck this time where I just had no terrible race. So
Yeah.
but yeah, shout outs to Nils as well. Like, he had
incredible.
quite a lot of issues everywhere, but he just kept. At the end of this season, he's just been first. Like, thankfully, Spa didn't go his way. Otherwise, he would have been off in the distance. But
Yeah, 2 wins. 2 wins this season. 2 wins, 3 podiums. Actually, no, 3 wins because of today. 3 wins and
wow.
Yeah, 4 podiums. So, yeah.
Yeah, fair play to him then.
Boy.
But, yep, I will take this championship
Yeah.
with knowing all the luck was on my side.
Well, enjoy your set of SIMSOKs. I'm sure they'll be on their way to you soon. To
Awesome.
sit next to your other set of SIMSOKs.
Yes.
Hopefully we'll see if we can spice up those prizes for next season. But hey, we'll get back to you on that.
It's about the racing at the end of the day.
Oh, yeah.
And the racing in this league is top notch.
The field is incredible this season. It's been amazing, and so many people have upped their game. Like Jardier coming away with wins and podiums left, right, and centre.
Trevor as well.
Yes.
Trevor has been outrageously quick this second half of the season. So
Yeah,
massive
2
shout out
third
to
places
him.
and a win. So
Yep.
yeah, Trevor Wenham, no, take a bow as well. And he tried
Definitely.
He tried this race, but that drive through caused him a few issues. But anyway, we'll let you go. We've still got the top 3 to talk to, but congrats and enjoy the
Yep.
championship. The 2-time
you so
George
much.
Boothby, thank you.
Cheers.
No
Cheers,
worries.
guys.
Hey, they join us. BMW Nils. I hope you don't mind me calling you BMW Nils. It's a long-standing joke. Anyone called Nils, I normally refer to them as the car name because it's just easier to get us underway. I mean, you did everything today, buddy. Literally, you had a game plan, you stuck to it, and you led the race from halfway through at least. Obviously, you got through your teammates quite quickly, but you couldn't do any more, unfortunately, to get that championship together. You know, it ran away with you. I think a couple of races ago. You know, if Spa didn't happen, I think you would have been. Well, I think we would have been talking to the new champion.
Yeah, I mean, there's always several ifs and thens for everyone, I guess, in the championship. I think Boothby also had a few results where he wasn't top of his game, so to say. So everybody had a few places where we didn't maximize the points. And in the end, it's fairly close, right? And I think this just brings us back to the point that every single mistake is going to be really decisive in the end. And staying on 0 mistakes, I think, is the bigger task in the end than winning a couple races, right? So it's not about the P1s. It's more about the not having the P18s or so.
Yeah, I think you're spot on. You know, the likes of Dara McCormack obviously had that 1 DNF. You know, if he didn't have that DNF, he'd be right up there in the title fight with you. Jardier, I think, was an epitome of what you were just saying. His lowest score was at P11. I don't know, I can't remember where he finished today, but I think it was a little bit higher than that. But the rest of the time, he was way up there in the top 5, majority of the season, and put him second place. You know, up there. I think you might have pipped him to the end. I think you'll be second place in the championship. I think he might just drop behind you. But hey, it was a fantastic season, and you guys were right up there for most of it. And the team as well, doing the business today. The second time you guys have done that. You know, you must still be pretty pleased with the performance.
No, I think we're happy, especially when you think where we're coming from, just driving the M6 for a bit more than a year. And it was a really tough time, to say the least. Even the BOP and SRO couldn't really bring us to the front most of the time. And we knew there wasn't too much on the table for us anyway. So now having the chance to really win races and having it in your own hands kinda is, I think that's really lifting us up a bit as well. And we're going with different expectations into the season probably when SRO starts now. Still, AR for us kind of is somewhat of a practice season, but then when you look at the grid, you can't really call it like that because it's just getting more competitive
It is.
every time, and it's not like we're we're driving at the front there, easily doing our thing. So there's everybody's putting the challenge to us, and it certainly has not been easy.
No, it's definitely not. Well, I think you keep your head held high, and like you say, the training for SRO is definitely working. We'll bring the lads in. Obviously, I'm assuming you're going in together anyway, so let's jump them up. As a team, you know, you boys, unfortunately, there is a bit of a team championship going on. Yassi, unfortunately, claimed the crown, I think. Hey-ho. Still, you guys did a fantastic job. You know, especially we saw you do 1, 2, 4, I think, in Hungaroring, and now the 1, 2, 3 today. It's pretty good, boys. I don't think I've ever seen team performance like that.
You guys can talk. I did my thing.
we are a good team.
It's a good team. You know, it's the first time we've seen you guys, you know, take part in AOR in the outfit as you are at the moment, and it's very, very good. The performance is great. Gregor, fantastic job today. Pace definitely was right up there. You had that position on merit, and considering Arthur was pushing you right to the very end, did you ever think at one point, if I put a foot wrong, he's going to have me, or would he let you take the second place?
To be honest, like, because we are so like equal in raw pace, you know, he had the tire advantage, so he was catching me, you know, and basically I knew, because we are in the same car, he won't be able to overtake me as long as I don't do a mistake. And that actually, on the one hand, relieves me, because I know it's in my own hands, if that makes sense, you know, because he doesn't have the straight line speed even with the slipstream, so I have it in my own hands. If I do a mistake, then he will get me. So I just thought about, hey, I just need to still do my laps. If he gets a good exit or a run, just need to defend the inside rather earlier than later. Otherwise, of course, you maybe get sent. But yeah, at the end, it worked out quite well with the small undercut, because I had some issues with the right rear. I had like a pressure loss.
Oh, really?
Midway through midway through the first stint, it was just dropping, and then I went out on the new tire set and I looked at the right rear and I was like, what the hell is going on? It's again like below 27 mid, and don't know what really happened there, if I put the wrong pressures into the setup, which I don't think was the case. But yeah, was a bit unfortunate with the tire, didn't like it, but at the end it worked quite well out.
Yeah, I mean, you held on to it, and even though, despite the earlier stop, you managed to, you know, put the cat amongst the pigeons and jump Arthur. Obviously, Arthur, fantastic qualifying. It feels like you got robbed a little bit to go down to third place, but still, your team gave you a real tough race. We didn't see, unfortunately, on the stream, the change of position first and second, but it seemed to happen on the straight. You got a bad exit, I think, coming, was it out of Chapel? Going down towards Stowe. I'm not too sure whereabouts it happened. We missed it, unfortunately. We were too busy looking what was happening with Boothby, unfortunately, a little bit further back. Do guide us through how it went down. Sorry to jab the wound, if you will, but what went on?
Sorry, there's nothing really exciting. I just didn't have the pace in the first stint, so I just decided to let both of them go.
Oh wow!
Especially Nils, he needed the win anyway. But yeah, I mean, I think if I hadn't let Gregor go, my second stint pace was probably by far the best. I could have caught up back to Nils again.
Yeah.
So yeah, but obviously, as Gregor said, it's hard to pass. Without a mistake, it's not possible to pass.
Yeah, I mean, hey, it was still great fun to watch, and as well the drama at the end where you were chasing Gregor was fantastic to watch. It was the only battle right at the very end, to be fair. So, thanks for keeping the heat alive at least. But yeah, commiserations. You couldn't convert the pole into the win, but hey ho. I thought at the beginning you were gonna just let Nils go right at the very beginning. I thought he's gonna open the door. Championships at stake, team orders, boom, straight off. But no, it didn't work out like that. Was that discussed at all?
I mean, it was sure that Nils needed the win, but we didn't discuss when we would let each other by. I just made a sensible decision once it was clear that he got the pace in the first stint.
There we go. Okay, fair enough. Well, we'll leave it there, guys. I appreciate you coming in and having a chat with us. Thank you so much for joining us for season 9. I hope it does, tee you off to join us for season 10. And obviously, like you say, you might have some more commitments moving forwards, but more than welcome to join us back for season 10, or even if you miss one out and come back for 11, doesn't matter. It'll be fantastic to have BS competition back in.
We certainly will, one way or another.
Yes, one way or another, when we can. Yeah, no worries. Guys, it's been a pleasure. Thank you very much for joining us, and congrats on the 1, 2, 3.
Yeah,
thanks for the broadcast.
Thanks.
See you very soon.
No worries.
Yeah, bye-bye.
See you soon, boys.
Bye-bye.
There we go. The top 3. Having a little chat about what went on. Anything to end on there, Saf, before we run away?
Have a good break, everyone.
Yes, indeed. Have a fantastic break. Just reading through the chat briefly before we go. P1 Boothby. P2 BMW Nils. He did hold on. He held on. Boothby was 573 points. BMW Nils was 567 points. So, wow, there you go. Only a few points between them. So Jardier must have been really, really close as well. But yeah, those guys were incredible. P1 and P2 in the championship. Boothby, the 2-time. Well, hey. Well, there's another race tomorrow, guys. It's not all over. You've got Tier 2 tomorrow. Let's see what's going on in the championship there. There's a right battle going on between Grantas Caracas and Tommy, I think it's Razor. Both in McLarens. I think Marcin is out of the championship fight, but Grantas Caracas and Tommy Razor have been trading punches all season. They've got 2 wins. Tommy's got. Grantas has got 1, and he's got 1, 2, 3, 4 other podiums apart from that. You've got to join us tomorrow at 7:30 for that, at least, to see what happens. There's no points at all separating. We're separated by what? I think that's like 8 points. That is anyone's race there. Tommy looking for the win. Grantas Caracas hopefully being able to overturn him at the end there. You can find out how that ends up tomorrow at 19:30 GMT. So do join us for that tomorrow. That'll be Tim and JSR giving you the business on the microphone. Well, there we go. Season 9 all wrapped up. Saf, it's been a pleasure. It's been a pleasure, buddy. We'll see you hopefully for Season 10 in about a month or two's time. Keep your eyes on the Discord, and we'll see you then, boys. It's been a pleasure.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.